नमस्ते बच्चों, हमेशा खुश रहो बच्चों। Myself Om Prakash, faculty of Department of Mathematics under Faculty of Education Material. Today topic complex analysis, and the name of module is conformal mapping. This subject is taught in BSc BA PCM semester. These are the lesson planning. These are the steps for planning a lesson. These are the compounds of a lesson plan. In complex analysis, today I taught you the conformal mapping, which we will see the basic transformation, or we can say conformal transformation. In the last class, I will see the bilinear transformation and their examples. We already see in the last class the bilinear transformation and their validity of the bilinear transformation. Now, we know that the transformation omega equals to az plus b by cz plus d set up to a one-to-one correspondence between the points of the closed z-plane, but at z equals to d by c and z equals to b by c are the points in which the function may vary. And the closed omega plane. Now, representing this equation with respect to z, we get d omega by dz equals to ad minus bc by cd plus d cz plus d whole square. Then, if z equals to minus d by c, then d omega by dz equals to infinity. And if z equals to infinity, then d omega by dz equals to 0. Then the point d z equals to minus d by c and the z infinity are the critical point where the conformal properly does not hold. And these are the only critical points. These 2 points causes to the critical point by extending the definition of conformal mapping in the following manner. We say that the transform W equals to f of z maps the neighborhood of a point z naught, conformally into a neighborhood of z equals to z naught, conformally into a neighborhood of omega equals to infinity if the transformation zeta equals to 1 by f of z maps the neighborhood of z naught conformally into a neighborhood of zeta equals to 0. Again, omega equals to f of z is said to be transformed the neighborhood of z equal to infinity conformally into a neighborhood of omega naught, provided omega equals to phi of 1 equals to 1 f of 1 by tau. This transforms the neighborhood of tau equals to 0 conformally into a neighborhood of omega naught. Hence, omega naught may assume the value infinity. With the existence of these definitions, we may now summarize the result as that means every bilinear transform represents a one-to-one conformal mapping of a whole closed z plane onto the whole closed omega plane. Every bilinear transformation represents a one-to-one conformal mapping of the whole closed z plane onto the whole closed omega plane. Then we can say that the transformation is bi-uniform for the whole plane of z and omega. That means this gives the definitions of critical point. Now, since the bilinear transformation W equals to T of z equals to Az plus B by Cz plus D represents a conformal mapping. It preserves angle between both in magnitude and size. Both in magnitude and size. The next one is the resultant or product of two bilinear transforms. How can we find the product of two bilinear transforms? For this, let us consider T1 and T2 defined as zeta and omega, where zeta equals to T1 of z equals to A1z plus T1 by C1z plus T1. where a1 d1 minus b1 c1 is not equal to 0. Similarly, omega equals to t2 of zeta, t2 of zeta equals to a2 zeta plus b2 by c2 zeta plus d2, where a2 d2 minus b2 c2 is not equal to 0. The transform 1 set up a one-to-one correspondence between the points of the z plane and the point of the zeta plane. Similarly, the transform 2 establishes a one-to-one correspondence between the points of the zeta plane and the point of the omega plane. With the help of these transformations, we may define a transformation from the z plane to the omega plane by the relation w equals to omega equals to t2 of t1z, t2 of t1z. This is nothing but just like a function of function, which are defined in your primary classes, like 11 and 9 and 10 classes. For t2, t1 outside, t2 of t1 outside equals to t2 of t1. That means here we substitute the value of t1. Substitute the value of t1. And then evaluate. We got finally in an expression which are shown in the equation 3. Hence, the transform 3 may be written as omega equals to t2 of t1 of z equals to alpha z plus beta by gamma z plus delta, where alpha and beta are given as alpha equals to a2 a1 plus b2 c1 and beta equals to a2 b1 plus b2 d1, gamma equals to c2 a1 plus d2 c1 and delta equals to c2 d1 plus d2 d1. Now, the determinant of 4 is given as, that means alpha delta minus beta gamma equals to a1 d1 minus b1 c1 into a2 d2 minus b2 c2, which are already defined, which is not equal to 0. Hence, the 4 represents a binary transformation. The transformation t to t1 defined by 4 is called the resultant of the product of the two transformations t1 and t2 in the that order. Similarly, the result of any finite number of binary transformations can be found. Let us consider an example of such type of transformation. Let omega equals to t1 of z equals to z plus 2 by z plus 3 and omega equals to t2 of z equals to z by z plus 1. Then we want to find t1 inverse of omega, t2 inverse of omega, t2 of t1 of z, t1 of t2 of z, and t2 inverse t1 of z. Now, we know that omega equals to z plus 2 by z plus 3, which gives omega z plus thrice omega equals to z plus 2. Now, z into omega minus 1 equals to 2 minus thrice omega. Z into omega minus 1 equals to 2 minus thrice omega, that is z equals to 2 minus thrice omega minus 1. Here we can transform omega in terms of, here given that omega in terms of z, we want to find z in terms of omega. Therefore, t1 inverse of omega equals to 2 minus thrice omega by omega minus 1. Again, we will do that omega equals to z by z plus 1 gives z equals to minus omega by omega minus 1 as done on previously. Therefore, we finally got z2 inverse of z equals to minus omega by omega minus 1. Again, we want to find t2 t1 of z equals to t2 of the value of t1 equals to the value of t1 will be substituted in t2. Then we got z plus 2 by z plus 3 by z plus 2 by z plus 3 plus 1. After simplification, we got z plus 2 by twice z plus 5. Similarly, we would able to find t1 t2z, t1 inverse t2z, and t2 inverse t1z. These are very easy to find. These are the your home assignment. In the next class, I will see the binary transformation as a result of elementary binary transformation with some geometric properties. No, binary transformation as a resultant of elementary binary transformation with simple geometric properties. Let us consider for this omega equals to P of z equals to AZ plus B by CZ plus 2, where AD minus BC is not equal to 0. If C is equal to 0, it's not equal to 0. If C is not equal to 0, this transform can be written as omega equals to BC minus AD by C square Z plus T by C plus A by C. These form can be written with the help of factorization, rationalization. Then we can write capital Z equals to small z plus t by c. Capital Z equals to small z plus t by c, and zeta equals to 1 by z, and tau equals to bc minus ad by c square into zeta. Then finally we can write omega equals to t tau plus a by c. This relation shows that a binary transformation is the resultant of a transformation given by one inversion in the real axis and unit circle given by 2, a rotation and magnification given by 3, and then again translation given by. That means this is nothing but the combinations of different types of transformation, which we have already discussed. The second case is if C is equal to 0. When C equals to 0, then omega equals to AZ by D plus B by D, provided D is not equal to 0. I can rewrite zeta equals to A by D of Z and omega equals to zeta plus B by D. We see that the given transformation is the resultant of the magnification and rotation, and then translation. So inversion falls out in this case, and only one translation is needed. These types of transformation can be done in various ways. One of them is the binary transformation as a resultant of an even of inversions. Every binary transformation can be expressed as the resultant of an even number of inversions. The proof will be left. There are two things is taken. First one is translation and then magnification. Then finally we got the result. In your next class, I will see the cross ratio transformation, which are very important for this course. Now, this session is powered by the Digital Version 2.0 with the Performance University, and I hope all of you are satisfied with my digital. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will try to resolve it. Thank you for watching this lecture video.